Hey there, boys and girls. Another day, another daily read aloud coming at you live from Miss Lorenz's office. Today's read aloud is actually a story that I absolutely love. I think there's some other stories similar to this one written by the same author, like a series, but it's this one's my all-time favorite. So I love this story. I'm very excited to share it with you. And it's one that makes me laugh nonstop. So if I laugh during this read aloud, I am so sorry. But it just brings out the giggles in me. So this story is called Click, Clack, Moo Cows That Type. And it's by Doreen Cronin, and pictures are by Betsy Lewin. And these stories crack me up because they're so what's the word I'm looking for? Out of this world. This is so fantasy. This is definitely something that would never, ever, ever happen. But I love that they gave these animals very silly personalities, and some of the things that they do and say in the story are just, they crack me up. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I can't wait to share it. So let's get started. So Click, Clack, Moo Cows That Type. And if you're not sure, because I know this is like a day and age where this stuff isn't even around anymore, this down here is called a typewriter. And typewriters were like computers before computers. They have a keyboard just like a regular computer does, and you type whatever you wanted to write about, a story, or maybe you were writing a letter. And the paper would, or the little letters, as you hit them, would put a little stamp of that letter onto the paper, and that's how you did it. This was before computers. This was like super duper fancy way back when, but now they're not around as much. You might see some people still have them. I have one somewhere. It's somewhere in my house, but I don't know where. I was gonna show it to you guys, but I lost it. It's lost in the shuffle somewhere. So they are very, very cool. If you ever get the chance to find one that's working and you get the opportunity to like try to write with it, give it a shot. It's really fun. But yeah, this was before computers. So it was how you would write a really fancy, nice letter without actually physically writing it with your hand. So these cows somehow managed to get a hold of this typewriter, and it looks like them and a few of the other barnyard animals may be up to some of their old tricks. So let's take a look. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type all day long. He hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo. He definitely looks very grumpy about it. Oh goodness. Wonder what they're writing about. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. You can tell, so typewriters have like this very specific font that they use, and it's kind of, I think it's called Courier nowadays, but it has like these little bit of flair to it, so you can tell that it was typed and not written. So they wrote him a very formal letter telling him, we're gonna need some electric blankets, it's cold. Wonder what Farmer Brown's gonna do. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they want electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. no milk today. So if you don't know what a strike is basically people decide to stop working because they're being treated unfairly. So they said, it's cold, and they want blankets. It's only fair. And Farmer Brown said no. And so they said, we're not going to give you any milk. And you can tell by Farmer Brown's shadow, I don't think he was very happy with that response. Yikes. You can see his hair is all crazy. He looks like he's throwing a temper tantrum. Definitely not a good way to start his day. See if the cows get what they want. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. They're up to something. The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. So now they're writing on behalf of some of the other animals. I wonder what's going to happen. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Closed. No milk. No eggs. Yikes. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. So now they have the cows on strike and the chickens. This barnyard is going to flip on its head. It's too much, right? The farmer's not going to have anything he can sell. I'm sure he's getting very frustrated. We'll see what he does. Cows that type, hens on strike, who ever heard of such a thing? How could I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. I mean, super duper mad. Look at him. Hands are up in the air. He's throwing a hissy fit. Whew. Poor Farmer Brown. Farmer Brown got his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. He's still not caving. Let's say Duck was a neutral party. That means he didn't pick sides. So he brought the ultimatum to the cows. Like him waddling down the path with the paper in his mouth. So Duck doesn't choose sides. He's not going to side with the cows, and he's not going to side with Farmer Brown. That's why they call him neutral. That means he doesn't pick which side he's on. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. I mean, kind of a good trade, right? Give them the electric blankets, and then you don't have to get any more notes from them anymore, demanding things. So I wonder what he'll do. Farmer Brown decided this was a good idea. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for the duck to come with the typewriter. Look how happy they look. And you can tell they're electric blankets because they have the little buttons. And electric blankets are basically blankets that you plug in and it heats up, so it keeps you nice and toasty. So these cows are all plugged in, and so are the chickens. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. So it turns out Duck was supposed to drop the typewriter off at Farmer Brown's house, and he never did. Instead, he kept it for himself. And it looks like he's up to no good. A diving board for the pond. I guess it must have worked. The end. I love this story because, like I said, it gives these animals such a silly personality that typically we don't think animals have, right? I also like that it shows some stuff that, like, maybe we weren't used to seeing, right? Typewriters, electric blankets, things that aren't really common nowadays. We don't see them that often. So I just love this story. I think it's super funny. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. For today's book challenge, what I'm going to ask you to do is pretend you're a barnyard animal. Maybe not one of the ones they mentioned in the book. Maybe a different one. Maybe a dog. Maybe a chick. Maybe a pig. What would you ask for if you got a hold of the typewriter, and why? Maybe if you were a pig, you would ask for a shower because you get so muddy you need a bath. Or maybe if you were the dog, you would ask for more bones because you've run out of them. I don't know. But tell me what you think you might need if you were another one of the barnyard animals and you got a hold of this typewriter. Seems like it came in handy for the cows, the chickens, and even duck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story today. I know I enjoyed reading it to you, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow for another daily read aloud. Let's keep reading together. Bye, guys.